Okay, this is a tutorial on how to use flat.io, which we now have connected with our Google Classroom. So this assignment is for October 23rd, I think is on Friday. And this assignment it should be called your first or my first score or something like that. And this is just us messing around with this new application before we start using it um, kind of more seriously in class. So you should have an assignment in Google Classroom called like my first score or something like that. And that's what you're going to be using. I don't have that in Google Classroom, so I'm going to go to create a new score, and then you should get something like this. Okay, once you click on your assignments where you have to title it. Choose a title. You can change it later, but just put it now. I'm going to put it on as my awesome song. We capitalize each letter in a title, remember, and then continue. And then you have to pick your instrument. We're going to start with your main instrument. I will show you how to add extra ones in later, but we're just going to start on your primary instrument. So if you have a brass instrument or I think free reed, no, we don't have any of those. Percussion, you can either pick a pitched percussion like a xylophone or a marimba, or you can pick unpitched, such as your marching snare drum. There's a lot to pick from. I don't know if there's a regular snare drum. I think for snare drum, you pick marching snare drum. Okay. You could do drum set if you wanted to. Percussion, you got all sorts of options. Um, and then we have our woodwinds over here. Okay, because there's a lot of extra ones you'll see. There's bagpipe, ocarina. Like you can play with those later, but for right now, pick your main instruments. Okay, so I'm gonna pick brass and I'm gonna pick horn and F because I play the French horn. And then we're gonna create. And then it creates your template. So it has my title, my awesome song. It gives you your first measure to start with. I have my instrument over here, my clef. It gives me a key signature for G major. I don't want to play in this key, so if I want to change it, I click on that. And then I'm going to pick F major. It gives me a time signature to start with. If I want to change it, I just click on it, and then I can change the time signature if I want. And it also gives me a tempo, 80 beats per minute. I can change that too. Okay. Up here is where we get everything we're going to put in. A good way of remembering this, you pick the rhythm first and then you add the notes. So right now it has it under quarter note and quarter note is selected. You have to select the note value before you enter which note on the staff it is. So if I pick quarter notes and then I put F, you see how when I put my cursor over it, the note already kind of comes up. So I line it up with F and then I put on F. I don't have to use my cursor though. I can go on my keyboard and press the F key and it'll put in an F for me. Okay. Maybe I want to use eighth note next. First, I click on the eighth notes and then I could go G, A, B. Notice it automatically puts a B flat because the B is in my key signature. The B flat is in my key signature. Then maybe go back to F. Once I fill up a measure, it will automatically give me another one. Because I was doing eighth notes before, eighth notes show up here in rest. It always gives you the rest first. Maybe I want to change it to a half note. So I go up here, I click half note, and then I can add F as my half note. And then maybe I want to use C next. It gives me the low C. Maybe I want to play the high C. I can do one of two things. I can backspace, get rid of that note. I have this one now, so I want to click here's where I want to put the note. I want it to be a half note, and then I can line my cursor up, do a high C, or let's go back, do that again, half note. It gave me a low C automatically before. If I want to change it, I can press the back arrow to line it up, press the up arrow, and it'll bring me up to that high C. Okay. there is a shortcut key to do an octave higher. I don't remember what it is. You'll find that there are a lot of shortcuts. You'll see them up here. Quarter note, the shortcut, it says 3 in parentheses. So if I press 3, it's going to change to a quarter note. If I press 2, it'll change to a half note. So you'll learn those shortcuts. Okay. And let's just fill in the rest of these. Oh, too high. I don't want to play that high. Go over here, half note, F. And then maybe I do quarter notes next, and then I have C, F. Okay, it gives me another measure, but I'm done with that. So I'll show you how to get rid of it. So looking up here, this is everything for our notes. If I ever want an accidental, I click on the note, and I can press a sharp or get rid of the sharp. Oh, a double sharp. I can get rid of it. A flat, press it once. Double flat, press it twice. Get rid of it. You could play around dots, ties, triplets, all sorts of stuff over here I won't explain. Articulation, staccatos. If we want a fermata, we want a slur. Maybe I can do a slur. Maybe I want to slur these two. I click the note I want to slur. I click slur, and it'll automatically do those two. If I ever want to change it, I click the end, and I can drag it to the next note. Okay, put that back. I want a fermata. I click on the note. I click fermata. It adds the fermata. Ornament. Maybe I want to add a trill. Trills are fun. I click on the note we want. Whoops. Uh-oh, how do I go back? Undo. Okay. I click on the note I want to trill. We trill that note. Okay. Dynamics, same thing. Click on the note where I want the dynamic. Click on the dynamic. There it is. Measure. If I want to get rid of this measure, I have to click in this measure first. Don't forget that I click in the measure first, and then it will remove the measure. If I ever want to add one, you click in the measure where you want it after, and you insert the measure after. You can also insert the measure before. Clef, key signature, time signature, or you could click here. Double bar line, repeat sign. So if I want to repeat, I put the repeat sign, can get rid of it. Okay, and then text we don't really have to worry about. All right, the last thing, if we want to add another instrument, we can click over here. Oh, not right click. I'm seeing the full score, the horn and F, manage instruments. Okay, this I see I only have selected horn and F, add an instrument. Maybe I want to add a trumpet. I click on trumpet. I can add as many instruments as I want. Okay, done. Now, something important to notice, they're in different keys. The computer is smart and knows that the French horn and the trumpet are not written in the same key. Don't change this, okay? And then I can add in my trumpet parts. Now, trumpet's in the key of C, so I want to start on C. And okay, it added an extra measure, but I want to delete that measure. And then I can change around, use the arrow key to select the notes. Maybe I want to trill on this note too. And then add that fermata like it's in the other one. Usually I want things to match. And then if you want to listen to the whole thing, click on the first note, and then we can play it and see what it sounds like. All right, so you can play around with what sounds good and what sounds bad. They don't have to do the whole thing or the same thing. See, mine did the same thing at first, and then I changed them. Something that sounds good when one part has long notes, you put shorter notes in the other part, but play around with it, have fun with it. Once you are happy with your creation, you can save it and turn it in, and then I will be able to see it and listen to it and put comments on it. All right? Okay, have fun with this one.